Hello everybody. Well, it's Good Friday, so we're going to make a bit of a traditional Good Friday dish with a few little twists in it. So today we're going to make something that is going to be a hit with all your vegetarian friends, or for you if you're trying to cut back on the amount of meat that you're eating. We're going to be making a beautiful Brioche salmon patty, and this is something that you can make and then make it with vegetables. You could make a salad with it. You could use it in a fish burger. Lots of different things. So come along with me while we make this together. So into here we're going to put 80 grams of bread torn into pieces. Now the recipe's saying for wholemeal bread. We're just using what we had in the house because couldn't be bothered going out to buy wholemeal bread. Just some white bread into the machine. Putting the lid on with the measuring cup in, and now we're going to, for 15 seconds on speed 7, and it will turn this into breadcrumbs. It's amazing how quickly you can go from chunks of bread to delicious breadcrumbs. Nearly there. Right, and there we've got, look at that. That's amazing. In 15 seconds, all that bread is made into breadcrumbs. So then I'm just going to tip that out onto the plate. So we've transferred it to a plate. Now, into here we're going to put olive oil, 20 grams. I've already measured that out, so that's easy. Some unsalted butter that I've chopped up into bits. Oops, last one, in you go. And we're going to put in potatoes. So here we've got 350 grams of potatoes. Now I peeled these using the Thermomix peeler attachment, which is fantastic. You need to have a look on the mix shop for that. It is an absolute winner and it makes life very easy. So in go the potatoes. And then we want some water. And there's our little bit of water, 50 grams of water going in as well. And then we're going to just put the salt and pepper, which I forgot to bring over. So I'll just get that. A little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. Just to help add a little bit more flavour to it. And then we're going to just put the lid on, no measuring cup this time. We're going to put the simmering basket, that is also a fantastic sieve and strainer, on the top. And we're going to cook it for 15 minutes at 100 degrees on speed 1. So we'll be back in 15 minutes when this is done. And 15 minutes is up, so let's have a look and see what our potatoes look like. There we go. They're cooked. They're not mashed, but they're a little bit squished. So let's see what the machine is telling us that we need to do next. So we're going to put the measuring cup in and we're going to mash these potatoes. 30 seconds at speed 3. And that will mash them up to a nice consistency. Normally, if you're mashing potatoes, you would do it on a higher speed than 3, but because these have been cooking for quite some time and with the blade on, that's done quite a bit of chopping up already. So this is just the final little bit, making them lovely, soft and fluffy. And we're going to put them into a bowl here that I've gotten. And where did I put my... Mr. Cameraman, can you get my spatula for me? Thank you. Right. So then, here they are. Look at that steam coming off. And we're going to transfer them into a bowl and let them sit aside for 10 minutes. Oops. There they go. Great way to do potatoes. Just a little bit of water, bit of butter, bit of oil. There we go, finally got the last bits out. And so we're just going to set that aside for 10 minutes to cool down. Now, into this bowl, we're going to put spring onions that I've chopped up. And we're going to chop them up. 3 seconds, speed 5. That's one of the most amazing things about the Thermomix is that in a few seconds you've got beautifully chopped up vegetables or whatever it is you're doing. It's pretty amazing how well it's shredded up. Look at that, that's pretty good. I would like mine a little bit finer. So I am going to actually go back and do that step again. Where are we? There we go. I'm going to do it just another few, because I like them a little bit more shredded than that. And that's the great thing about the Thermomix. This is a guide. You can follow it the entire way, or you can add and change it a little bit, which is what I've just done. Now we're going to add into this our salmon. See, that's better. That's more what I was wanting. Now, speaking about adding and changing the recipe, this recipe calls for to use skinless salmon fillets, about 150 grams of it. Now, because we couldn't be bothered going out to the shop, and, well, it's Good Friday, everything's closed, in the house we had some tinned salmon. So if you just bring that salmon over for me, we're going to add the salmon in. Right, so just some salmon, and in it goes. In like that, quite easy. Oops. And then we're going to add in our reserved mashed potato. There we go. Pretty easy really, isn't it? Then we're going to put the lid on again. And for 20 seconds, it's going to be on speed 3 and it's going to be on reverse. Now, the reason we're putting it on reverse is we want it to mix everything together. When it's on reverse, it's the blunt side of the blade, so it's not chopping up anymore. So just on to speed 3. And 20 seconds, that's a reasonable speed. It's mixing it all together. It will, yes, break things up a little bit more, but not too much. It's just great. It does a fantastic job. 20 seconds is up, and let's have a look. Oh, yum. And it smells delicious. Here's the salmon mixture, all mixed around. And what I'm going to do now is put this out onto a plate. Just using a spoon, which I don't normally, but I want to get some of this from the top, and then I'm going to get the spatula and finish off getting it out with the spatula. Here we go. Come here. Goodness me, it doesn't want to come out. There we go. That's the majority of it. There's a little bit left in there, but that's okay. Now, I'm just going to spread this out on the plate. And what I'm going to do now is put this into the freezer. Just for a short period of time, 15 minutes in the freezer. So we will be back in 15 minutes. Now the salmon mixture has been in the freezer for about 15 minutes and I've scored it lightly, and now my little aim here, let's see how this goes, is to pick up pieces of this, and then into it I'm going to put a piece of Gruyere cheese and form the patty around the Gruyere cheese, and then the patty goes into breadcrumbs. I had to think what that was then. That's a bit sad, isn't it? So we're just going to repeat that until all of the mixture is made into patties. We're going to coat them in the breadcrumbs there, and then what I'm going to do is spray them with oil and bake them in the oven. And it's a bit of a healthier version because they're not fried, they're not in mountains of oil. It's just a light spray of oil, and it's a really lovely twist on a traditional fish cake because it's got that delicious Gruyere cheese in the middle. You could probably use anything you liked. If you preferred manchego, you could use that. I don't think it really matters. Just some delicious cheese in the middle. So I'm going to keep doing this, and then we'll be back in a minute when I've coated them all in the breadcrumbs and we've got them on the last one. Look, these are rustic. I will admit they're different sizes and not quite all the same shape, but that's okay. Is it the end of the world? Not really. What I'm going to do now is give them all a little spray with some olive oil. And then I'm going to turn them over so the other side is sprayed. And then they're going to go in the oven that I've preheated to 180. And then what we've decided we're going to do with these is we're going to turn them into salmon patty burgers for an easy, simple dinner tonight. So we will be back when these have finished cooking, and you can see how yummy they all look. And they're done. They absolutely smell delicious. So the way that we're going to have them in our house is I've got a little brioche bun here. I'm just going to put some cheese on it because you can never have too much cheese in your life. One of these patties, and I wish you could smell it. I can't tell you how good they smell. Absolutely delicious. And then a little bit of this lovely coleslaw that we've made up. You just put that on, put a lid on, and yum. This is going to be delicious. Oh my gosh.